So today we're in day number 2 of our factoring, and we're going to look specifically at trinomials today. This is kind of where the basic factoring hinges on, and something that makes something a trinomial is what we have in front of us here with question number 1 is because we've got 3 terms that are there. We'll get into binomials, bi as in bicycle, so 2 wheels. There's your trinomials, tricycle, so there's your 3 wheels, so your 3 terms. And then beyond that, we get into something that's called polynomials. So we don't really use names for 4 terms and 5 terms and 6 terms. We just give them a generic name, which is poly, meaning more than one. All right, so here's what we're looking for. Your basics of factoring say that I need 2 numbers have to multiply to get here. And at the same time, when I combine them, so in other words, when we add them together, all right, we need to add on to that 13. So today we're going to see what's called the guess and check method, which kind of think about it, doesn't sound very mathematical, but because it relies so heavily on number sense, the guess and check is actually a really good way of going about it. And the idea behind this is just come up with 2 numbers that multiply to 40, 10 and 4. Can you combine those to make 13? 10 plus 4? No. 10 minus 3? No. So throw them out. 2 other people that multiply to give us 40. 8 and 5. What happens when you combine 8 and 5? Well, we get 13. That's there. So our factored answer here is x plus 8 and x plus 5. All right, so let's break this down a little bit more. Where do the x's come from? Well, the only 2 people that multiply together to get to x squared is going to be x. So yeah, we do need to end up multiplying that first one as well. We like it when we just see an x squared because we don't have to rely on it. We don't need to use it. We're just going to see those x's because the only thing that we can use is x squared. And the idea here as well is you can always check it by looking at here. So 8 times x, 8x. X times 5, 5x. What happens when you combine 8x and 5x? Well, there's your 13x. So that's where we're using the checking portion of it. So let's try and get ourselves into another one here. Let's use x squared plus 17x plus 72. And again, you're just doing the first thing that comes to mind. So the first thing that comes to mind for 72, 9 and 8. All right, that's the only thing that comes to my mind for it. And it works out, all right, because 9 plus 8 is 17. So yeah, x plus 9, x plus 8. It doesn't matter who we put first. I could say x plus 8, and I could say x plus 9. Because remember, this is a multiplication problem. We're multiplying x plus 9 times x plus 8. And with multiplication, we can flip the order around, and it won't make a difference. All right, so let's watch what happens here. Question number 3, x squared plus 2x minus 63. All right, so guess and check. What's going through my head here is 63. What do you think? Yeah, 9 times 7. Now, 9 plus 7 is going to be the 16. I need a 2. But what can you do with the 9 and 7? Well, we can subtract them. Now, the subtraction problem is important here because we're telling ourselves that we're going to do 9 minus 7. That's what's going to get me a 2. So if we focus on our 9 here, that 9 is positive. So that's why I'll say x plus 9. And the 7 here, because of that subtraction symbol, tells me it's negative. And that's why we keep the subtraction symbol there, x minus 7. So if we do check it, 9 times x is your 9x. X times negative 7, negative 7x. What happens when you combine 9 and negative 7? You get yourself a 2, and that's what we wanted right here, was that positive 2x. So your integers are really going to come into play, and this is why, again, the guess and check actually kind of has some substance to go along with it, because we can kind of push on through it. All right, let's try this one. X squared plus 7x minus 8. All right, so 8. Numbers that multiply get 8. 4 and 2. I can't combine 4 and 2 to get a 7. Add it, I get 6. Subtract it, I get 2. All right. 8 and 1 then. Can I combine 8 and 1 in any way to get to a 7? I can. All right. Now, I don't focus on the fact that this is a negative 8. I'm going to let that kind of handle itself in the checking stage. I just focus on, let's get some numbers and let's see if it works out. So I'm thinking here of 8 times 1, because that's going to get me to an 8. And then if I do 8 minus 1, that's going to get me to a 7. Again, the checking portion is key here. So we said x plus 7 and x minus, oops, not x plus 7. We said x plus 8. And the idea here is 8 minus 1 gets me to a 7. Now, again, the checking portion here, all right? And this is going to be important because I need a negative 8 when I multiply together. And 8 times negative 1 is a negative 8. Remember, I chose 8 and I chose the number negative 1. And then when I do 8 minus 1, we also get our 7 that we're after. So again, we can do this, do our checking, we can write the numbers off to the side, we can just use the mental math the entire time. All right, so we're going to give you a few to guess and check with, and we'll walk you on through it here. So this is where you'll pause that video and see if you can handle it. And if you get stuck, hit play. Or if you think you got it, hit play and see what happens. All right, let's see how you do. All right, so our 72 is back here. And again, you're going to use your popular numbers. And when we think about 72, yeah, we think about 9 times 8. Thing here is 9 and 8, if I combine them together, I get a 17. Now, the key thing to recognize, though, is I just don't want a 17. I want a negative 17. But like I said, we can play with the signs later because we're going to check. So we said the 9 and the 8. Now, if I say x plus 9 and I say x plus 8, 9 times 8 is 72. But when I combine 9 and 8, I don't get a negative 17. So one of the trends that you'll start to notice is that when you get the right number, but just the wrong sign, a lot of times just flipping the signs is all that matters. And let's look at this. A negative 9 times a negative 8. That's a positive 72. And when you combine your negative 9 and your negative 8, we do get a negative 17. So again, don't try to necessarily get to the answer right away. You're probably going to end up doing a little bit of erasing from time to time because you're going to make adjustments. Again, it's called the guess and check method for a reason. As long as you are checking, you're going to be just fine. Let's throw one more at you here, and let's try someone like this. X squared minus 2x minus 8. Go and hit that pause button, see what you can do. All right, so the 8's 4 and 2. Yeah, 4 and 2. Can I combine 4 and 2 to get to my 2? Yeah, I can do 4 minus 2. So I feel good about it. I feel like I've got something worthwhile trying to write down. The thing here is the signs are important. So I can't say u, even though, because 4 times 2, first of all, it's just an 8. I need a negative 8. Okay, so let me change one of the signs. Let's say I change u to a subtraction sign. Okay, 4 times negative 2, that's negative 8. But here's the thing. When I combine that 4 and that negative 2, we get that positive 2. I need a negative 2. So again, anytime you get the right number, just the wrong sign, flip them. Remember, before we had both positives. So if I flip both the positives, they both become negatives. Now when I flip my particular signs, I'm going to make my addition sign into my subtraction sign. And I'm going to make my subtraction sign into my addition sign. Again, flip them. So if you get the same number, just the wrong sign, you know you are there. And sure enough, negative 4x with a positive 2x, that does give me my negative 2x, and negative 4 times the positive 2 does give me my negative 8 as well. All right, so that's it for today. We'll get ourselves into what we refer to as the split the middle term process. It'll be more streamlined. We'll show you when to use it, I don't think you really want to buy into it here in these problems, just because it will take you a little bit longer. But again, we're going to show it to you, and we'll always let you decide which technique is best for you. Because if you struggle with your math facts, this can be painfully long. The split the middle term is something that it'll be much more structured, and you won't be doing that guessing followed by that checking. It'll be more sequential in order. All right, we'll see you.